Makeni. Hello and welcome to Global Multimedia Online TV with me, your presenter, Trifina Elizabeth Coker. And you are watching Global Multimedia Online TV. Child Protection Agencies has formed the Bombali SGBV task force in order to prevent sexual violence against children. This, according to them, is to advocate for the establishment and rehabilitation of child protection structures, working on SGBV in the district. Our reporter Michael Jemai Conte has more.
The constant and massive increment of sexual gender-based violence is an alarming call to all partners and actors of SGBV. Child protection organizations in Bombali has formed a task force in the district. This, according to the Bombali SGBV task force, is to enhance the effective collaboration of partners working on SGBV to properly coordinate response and provide the needed services for survivors of SGBV in the region. The task force aims to raise public awareness of child sexual abuse, to be pressure group or sexual abuse cases to be fast-tracked, to provide better access to justice for the survivor, and among others. Anita Koma, County Director, Girl Child Network Sierra Leone, explains more.
So we got a press conference at this year office today, take a rule with regards to the new task force who don't make Bombali District sexual gender-based violence task force. Now we don't come because we find out say cases and they delay, justice then they deny, so people we not believe say for continue for wait, so many people and suffer as CSOs, local NGOs and CBOs we believe say for come together for form the task force where they pay attention no more on their sexual gender-based violence, including rape when in don't be a rampant one, and sexual penetration for small people. So we come together 14 to 15 organizations. We say we get for form this, be the voice and be the force from what we see how we're able to penetrate now the government institutions, the way they delay the justice, how we forfeit for the people and for social justice.
The goals of the task force are to end or minimize rape, sexual penetration, and other forms of SGBV in Bombali District, and also addressing sexual violence through collective thinking, action, and to promote the rights of women and girls. Global Multimedia Online TV Daily Room News, Michael Jemai Conte reporting.
Community Action for Education and Development Sierra Leone (CAFED) has donated school materials to primary school pupils, sanitary pads and toiletries to teenage girls in Kabombe, Robuya and Mabente polio camp communities. This was to encourage, empower children and youths, especially girls, to realize their goals, minimize risk faced by adolescent girls and human capital development. I was part of this donation exercise and put this together. Community Action for Education and Development Sierra Leone is a community-based organization that was formed to leverage opportunity for youths and children, especially girls, to realize their goals in nation building, human rights advocacy, innovation and technology, and child protection. As an organization, they have been providing capacity building, training youths to be creative and innovative in ensuring their imprints for a developed nation. The CBO has supported over 50 youth, especially girl child, with sanitary pads and toiletries, which include soaps, shaving sticks, toothbrush and toothpaste, etc., and school materials like plastic files, books, pens and pencils in different localities like Kabombe, Robuya and Mabente polio camp communities, which were strategically selected based on vulnerability. School administrators and beneficiaries expressed their feelings on this move made by CAFED.
It's never been because on the past I used species where the mess, like this toothbrush, and nobody get toothbrush or come with teeth, like that shaking stick for the so then I blade now they use the wound they. But this now they don't have to simple for you. They able use that not go get wound. Then the toothbrush they able club the teeth and they the paste. So I'm glad for that day. When they the current because you know and they get into in our community like paste, the part where don't count. So I want to tell them plenty thank you. I want to tell cafe plenty thank you for cafe reality there.
I feel very happy because I not been get most of the book them for do assignments for happy I appreciate when I send for me the books there.
The Gender Desk Officer CAFED, Grace Adezegeba, tells us more about the project.
Well, this is like a project where we come together, we think twice, say, well, this now thing we need to do for empower girls, they're moreover girls that we're vulnerable. A project where we supply sanitary pads, where we make on our own, We do some soaps, shaving sticks. We give some other things that you say you will use as a guard picking for maintain yourself and as a good hygiene.
Soi Ibrahim Koroma is the communications officer CAFED. He speaks on the project's expectation.
Since we've done our level best as an organization, my own outcome or expectation now for girls to use these things, because what we did is to pass on the message first, and we told them how to use these things, and also we did the distribution. So we want girls to work with these things and also let them take these things serious. And as an organization, we've done our level best to pass on this message and also donate these things. So we are expecting girls now to use these things, and also we are expecting community people to tell these girls and what are the things they need to do.
Girl, child, and women's empowerment is at the heart of the organization, as said by the founder, Desmond Alfred Jonathan Farmer.
I exhaust the realm of the free. This is the love we to do. Bombali United and Barista.
In a bid to help solve community problems that connect local government developmental strives and the central government to the grassroots people in terms of local development, the government of Sierra Leone attracted a European Union project to support civil societies and local authorities for local development in Sierra Leone, which has been launched in Makeni, Bombali District. His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Madabio serves as the keynote speaker. Desmond Alfred Jonathan Farmer has more details.
Pujeun, Kenema, Cambia and Bombali District has benefited the 5 years grants funded by the European Union. The official signing ceremony of the grants between the European Union and the district councils was done at the University of Makeni Auditorium. The national launch of the 11th EDF programs supports to civil society and local authority for local development in Sierra Leone. And His Excellency, the President's retired Brigadier Julius Madabio was the keynote speaker.
That most CSOs are moving towards more engagement and alliance building at all levels as they engage local authorities and government. That critical engagement makes CSOs credible actors in local government and development, and also addresses their legitimacy. Beyond this, I also thank the European Union for enhancing the capacity of the monitoring and technical unit of the local government ministry. Thank you again, Mr. Ben. This will ensure that the local government ministry can monitor all the projects in this grant and ensure compliance with the project planning and implementation objectives. I'm also pleased, today I've been really pleased. I'm also pleased that this project will support inclusive local development planning and economic development. The insistence that most of the revenue generation projects be managed by women is welcome.
In attendance, we are government parastatals, MDAs, paramount chiefs, district chairmen, and chief administrators, and many more. Global Multimedia Online TV Daily Home News. I am Desmond Alfred Jonathan Farmer reporting.
Agriculture is the ultimate key in putting an end to food insecurity and hunger. The world needs huge attention and must be a priority to all youths in order to save Africans from its weakened economies, poor infrastructure leading to famine sites. Youths, however, should involve in farming activities to achieving this goal. As said by the Executive Director, Sierra Agri-Foods at Matak Village, Bombali District, where his agricultural company is embarking on massive plantation of maize, potato, and other cash crops. Handler McWilliams has more, and she now reports.
Africa's annual food import bill of $35 billion, estimated to rise to $110 billion by 2025, which has weakened Africa's economies, decimated its agriculture and export jobs from the continent. Africa's annual food import bill of $35 billion is just about the same amount it needs to close its power deficit. To rapidly support Africa to diversify its economies and revive its rural areas, youth involvement in agriculture should and must be a priority. Augustine Sensil-Bangura, a youth and executive director of Sierra Agri-Food, is highly passionate in agriculture processing based in Makeni. He speaks to Global Multimedia on the needs of youth's involvement in agriculture.
I want to encourage all youth to see agriculture as a promising enterprise, an enterprise that has the answer to their challenges in terms of their living standards and a whole lot of that, because the potential in the agriculture sector is very huge. It does not only impact the economy, it ensures that we address the challenges of food insecurity, the challenges of malnutrition, to ensure we offer our children a very good diet that will be nourishing and help them to grow healthily in terms of their physical well-being. And also I would like to young people to see the need to come to agriculture, not only because of helping themselves to become successful, but because it is a promising enterprise that will market Sierra Leone's potential internationally, and that will ensure it contributes towards economic empowerment and economic diversification in a country like Sierra Leone.
Matak is a deprived village in Bombali District in which both age and youth depends wholly and solely in agriculture. This is Matak Village, and this is Global Multimedia Online TV, and I am Handler McWilliams reporting.
It might be, or as a result of the uninformed generation on the existence of the most famous hills in Makeni, Mena and Wusum, that may have led to less or no relevance to the indigenes of Makeni, which in an actual fact, according to research, hills are contributing factors to human existence and tourist attraction. Our reporter Victoria Kamara probed into the economic importance of these hills and gauged the views of residents residing around the hills.
The phenomena of the physical world is a composition of plants and animals, hills and valleys. Nature has been a key contributing factor to human existence for over centuries. Hills are part of nature, the elevation of the earth's surface that has a distinct summit formed by a build-up of rock debris and sand deposits. Hills do have both economical and livelihood values to human existence. Mena and Wosum Hills are the most famous hills in Makeni. It seems like people don't know the economic importance of these hills. Global Multimedia Online TV probe into the importance of these hills. Traditionally, it is believed that these hills are owned by two devils, and they are husband and wife, Tinka Mena and Tinka Husum, who are believed to be living in these hills with their children, as said by many traditionalists in Makeni. We caught up with a geographer who explained the formation, values or importance of these hills, as well as the dangers that will occur if they are misused.
The hills have been existing as long as the time God made them. And most of them came as a result of volcanic activity, a raised portion of the earth due to volcanic material, that is hot rock melting underneath below the surface of the earth, trying to come to the surface of the earth, because it may not likely be able to pass through cracks it pushes the layer of the earth above it. You understand? The molten rock will push the layers of the rock, of the overlying strata, rock layers above it, right up to this level. You can see some hills are high, some hills did have very hard rocks. These are very important areas. Hills in other parts of the world are used for human dwelling. Hills in other parts of the world are used to bury people. People cut graves into them and put dead bodies there. Hills in other parts of the world have some very fertile soil that they use to cultivate crops. Hills in other parts of the world, particularly in Sierra Leone, most hills that we have in Sierra Leone have minerals, very useful minerals. If we take the case of the Sulima Mountains there, around Tonkolele district, where iron ore is mined, have a lot of iron ore. We have the example in Sierra Leone and many other parts of the world. With this change in climate, we see that there's a lot of flooding and landslides occurring in hillside because the vegetation that was binding the soil on top of the hills has been cut down by man. There's nothing else, nothing more that can hold those soil materials, the soil materials on top of hills. You understand? Then, in the presence of water, the nature of the slope, the degree of slope, soil can move downhill to cause trouble when there is plenty of rainfall, landslides. Then, the accident of tall stones, because there is already an undercutting. Man has removed the natural vegetation. The roots that were binding the soil are no longer there. Tall stones on top of hills can roll down. We saw that accident at in Freetown. Okay?
According to residents residing along the hills, they explain the benefits and challenges they face, some of which they said normally disturb them are monkeys, which makes it difficult for their agricultural products to flourish.
So what the plants are, they find because of get something whatever all they put, all agriculture they make. The alfalfa where they come out, would just a shibano with the animal there. So after around the water, we can, so they pass, we go, we make water, so may pass.
No get. We don't get water, we don't get self for security, and one back replace them, we don't get money for plants, for the other thing then. And all they take for plants, them monkey, the other thing, they disturb with things then, and they spoil.
Global Multimedia Online TV Daily Home News, Victoria Kamara reporting.
This is all we have time for in today's Daily Home News. Thanks to our producers and editors for a job well done. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook page, and all of our social media accounts to get first-hand information about happenings in and out of the country. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant night.
Dr. Vincent Kanu Road in Makeni.